and welcome to Roanoke County Today. I'm Teresa Hall, Roanoke County's Public Information Director. Green Ridge Recreation Center is getting ready to make a big splash with the opening of Splash Valley Outdoor Water Park, plus an update on efforts to balance the upcoming fiscal year budget, and we'll check in to see how construction is progressing on the Veterans Monument at the Vinton War Memorial. Hope you'll stay with us for those segments and much more.
I'm Dan O'Donnell, Assistant County Administrator, and I'm here with Bill Gries, who is our Director of Communications and Information Technology for Roanoke County. Welcome, Bill.
Thank you.
Glad you could be with us today.
It's a pleasure to be here.
We'd like to talk to you a little bit about a lot of the changes that have been going on in communication and information technology. First, kind of like to congratulate you for a couple of accolades you've recently gotten personally. First of all, you're featured on the cover of Public CIO magazine in the upcoming edition. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, that was a really nice honor. Public CIO magazine it's a trade magazine for geeks like me that are in the public sector. That it's really just got the latest trend information and information on how to do a better job as a CIO, which is a Chief Information Officer. Mm-hmm. It's like the top technology person in an organization.
Right, and I did read that article, and it does say some talk about some changes in CIOs where they're taking on more and more responsibilities, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that later, but you certainly are doing that. So
yes.
That's a great honor to be featured in an article that covers the ever-changing world of information technology. And in addition to that, you were named one of the top 25 doers, dreamers, and drivers in Government Technology magazine. Now tell me what that's all about.
Yeah, that's another geek magazine that it's just all about the latest trends in technology as it relates to government. And each year they select 25 people from the field of technology in government that they feel are doing something innovative that is worth highlighting. And I was very honored to get that because there's only 25 each year from all levels of government. And it was quite an honor, particularly because of the caliber of the other people who were selected. So if you consider that to be my peer group, I would say I was pretty fortunate.
That's fantastic. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
Now, the reason for those personal accolades, I think, are because a lot of changes going on in our own information technology department. Could you tell us what's been going on in information technology?
Yeah, we have gone through a lot of changes in the last couple of years. Our CIO retired, and I attempting to fill in for her big shoes. And we have, because of a lot of budget constraints, we decided to merge two of our departments, the IT department and our communications department, our 911 center here behind me.
Which is where we are.
Right. And that has made really a cascade of changes in the way we deliver service and hopefully improvements all around. We recently got our 911 center certified through the Commission for Accreditation of Law Enforcement Agencies. We just recently completed our 800 megahertz digital radio system upgrade, which is the public safety radios that our police and firefighters and rescue workers use. That was a major transition for us, and we've got a whole list of things that we want to do in the future to help capitalize on this merger and what's going forward now for us today.
Great. We're realizing great efficiencies because of that consolidation.
Yes, absolutely, and that's what it's all about during these difficult budget times.
Right. Now, in addition to your personal awards and accolades, you've also helped us get the county for the last several years has either been first or second in the Digital Counties Award for the from the Center for Digital Government. Could you tell us about that?
Yeah, that's an annual survey that is done each year. They measure the use of technologies in counties across the country, and it's really based on all of the latest technologies. How well are those things being integrated, not only in the organization of the government itself, but also in the population of the county. So this is certainly not an award to recognize the technology department. It is to recognize this organization. And I think the reason we've been so successful at it is because we have a whole organization that is very adaptable to change, and a board of supervisors and leadership for our organization that is very interested in innovation and is willing to take risks to make things better in terms of citizen service. and right now, more importantly, cost efficiencies. So we've done very well in that regard, and I think that's why.
Right. One of the things I'd like to talk a little bit about is another new initiative, which is really our venture into the world of social media to get information out to the public. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. That's one of those types of technologies that I think have helped us do so well in that survey and get so much recognition. Social media has become a very, very popular tool in the public, in education, in government, in business, and just in our personal lives. Everybody has a Facebook account or follows Twitter, or reads blogs, YouTube, whatever. And we got together about a year ago with our Public Information Office and our Public Information Director, Teresa Hall, and said, we really need to do something about this because this is going to come whether we want it to or not, so let's get out ahead of it and do some work with it. So we had several discussions, and she jumped on that, and we really pushed forward. We have a really active Facebook account, a Twitter account, a YouTube channel, and we're continuing to explore more and deeper tools as they become available.
That's great. And one of the great parts, things about using the social media is it's very low cost. We get a lot of information out. County has somewhere in the neighborhood of 2,000 people that follow us regularly on the Facebook page anyway. So it's really is starting to spread. So doing a lot of things to increase our effectiveness and efficiency, and we appreciate it, and want to congratulate you for your personal accolades and all you've done to help the county. And
Thank
you have a great staff and a great organization, so good luck to you in the future.
Thank you.
And appreciate you being with us today.
Thank you. I would say the staff has been the key part. It's the people. It's nice to be on the cover of a magazine, but I think it's more important to be able to show your staff how valuable they are to you. Hopefully we're able to do that, and we've got a lot of other things coming up in the future that we want to stay tuned for.
Great. And where can the public go for more information about how we use technology in Roanoke County?
The best thing to do right now probably is to log on to our website, RoanokeCountyVA.gov, and on the front page there is a progress report that was put out by our Public Information Office. It has a great amount of detail about the work we have going on right now. And of course, if anybody is interested or has a specific question, they can always email me, and I'll be happy to answer questions, set up a meeting, whatever they like if they want to know more.
Well, great. Thanks, Bill. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you very much.
And congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Construction is underway here at the Vinton War Memorial on a monument of significance, not just to the people of Vinton, but all of Roanoke County. Joining me now are Mary Beth Lehman and Booty Tuning, two ladies extremely involved in the Veterans Monument Project. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us to talk about this project. It's hard to believe, looking behind us, at just how much construction has taken place.
We're delighted to see it, though, because we've been at this for a long time. And we're so delighted that we have it this much under construction, and hope within a week or so we'll have the rest.
Well, for the folks who are watching from home and aren't aware of the monument, give us a little bit of history behind how this project came to be.
Well, actually, a conversation started at a local business here in Vinton. Booty Tuning and Brad Gross and Carolyn Fiddler were having a conversation, and an idea came about to how do we properly recognize veterans and bring it into this generation, into this period of time. And Booty, along with a number of other volunteers that were asked to serve on the committee, started developing an idea, and the idea of the monument came about. The models were then placed on display for 6 weeks at the Vinton Municipal Building, and citizens had a chance to give their input, written input, select which one they liked. And by public opinion, they selected this model. The committee was also in agreement, and then the Vinton Town Council gave the final approval on the selection.
Sounds like it was like minds, Booty.
Oh, it was. It very much so. And I have to thank the Vision Committee that we all met with Audrey Thrasher and Catherine Sowers, all the people that have helped so much, Jason Peters and Norman Jasper. These people have been real heroes, and Candy Hughes Peters, she is now, and they have come to the aid of building this monument and watched it all the way through. And every day we're on the phone or on email checking out what the progress is. And we are so delighted because this has been a long process.
And it's the perfect place for it, too. Vinton War Memorial to have a veterans monument.
Oh, I sat across the street there at the Dogwood Parade, and people came by and they were looking over here, and they said, "Oh, I can hardly wait. I can hardly wait to see the lights in the fountain." And when that fountain and the flag gets in there, it is going to be breathtaking. Right now, we're in the process of getting more money in, trying to get more money. At this point, we have raised $290,000. We have about $65,000 left to go.
Okay.
And we hope and pray that a lot of people might want to contribute to it. The other one is buying bricks for loved ones. And this monument for those that have served and are serving. And it's not just one war, it's for everyone. And we are trying to get the bricks sold, and we think that it's a wonderful, befitting honor for someone to have their name on a brick here.
And they'll be placed in the compass area, beautiful star pattern that surrounds the monument. The monument is designed by Larry Betchel, Mary Babcock, and John Kirtley. It's the artist team.
And whose names will be on here? It's Vinton and Roanoke County, but what wars will be represented on the monument?
From World War II forward will be the names of those who were killed in action, and that will surround what's called the centerpiece. There'll be a bronze flag in the middle, and the diagonal structure that you see in the middle, that will have 4 plaques, and then also the inset on the columns, there'll be space for names there.
All right, if you'd like to donate or to purchase one of these bricks in memory of someone, Mary Beth, are you the contact?
Yes, that would be fine. I could be contacted here at the Vinton War Memorial, mblayman@vintonva.gov, or 540-983-0613.
All right, Booty,
But
Mary
remember,
Beth. Yes.
it's in honor of and in memory of. So the
Exactly.
person does not have to be gone to get a brick.
All right, that's a good point. All right, ladies, thank you so much. This is beautiful behind us. I can only imagine what it's going to look like once it's finally completed.
Thank you for so much.
All
for
right.
having
Thank you,
us.
Teresa.
Certainly. And stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back.
Seatbelts save lives.
Okay.
Visit NHTSA.gov.
That is spectacular advice.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation and the Ad Council.
Roanoke County's Emergency Communications Center earned accreditation, but exactly what does that mean? Here to explain are Bill Hunter and Pat Shoemate, 2 of the folks who were behind the scenes here at the county's 911 center. First of all, congratulations on this accreditation. It's the first time, correct?
Yes, thank you.
And exactly when did the process start, and who was behind deciding that accreditation is something that we want to do for this department?
I guess it started about 2 years ago before we actually got the accreditation, and it came down to the county administrator and the county administration that they felt this was something worthwhile. It's something that we've thought would be worthwhile for quite some time, but once the administration got behind it, it started the process moving right along.
And what I said just a few minutes ago, is exactly what does it mean to be accredited?
Well, it sets your center apart from others in that we go by national standards. There are only about, Pat, 66 in the country and 6 accredited public safety answering points in the state of Virginia. So it gives your folks the training, the tools, and the guidelines to ensure that we provide the first-class service to the citizens of the county.
Long process, Pat?
Yes, it was. It started out, there were 218 standards that we had to meet, and we had to take each standard and evaluate our current operation and procedures and see if they fell in line with those standards, which most did.
Sounds like a lot of paperwork.
It is. There's 208, like I said, 218 standards, and you have to take each one at a time and work through it and provide your documentation and provide your your proof. And
there might be some truth in the proof too.
Right, yes. And then during that process we networked with other agencies that were going through the similar process or had been through the process and learned from them how they did it and learned a lot that way to bring our center in line with that.
It sounds like when you're going through this process, it's a lot of learning that's involved as well. You know, learning to do things maybe a different way, as you mentioned earlier.
Yes.
Well, for years and years, the Emergency Communications Center was affiliated with the county police department and fell under the umbrella of their accreditation process. Once we split from them and became our own department, then you had to not start from scratch, but pretty much start at square one.
The standards don't tell you how to do something. The standards require that you provided a certain service or a certain function, and then your policy, and require your policies and procedures to outline how that's going to be provided, and then your proofs prove that you're following those standards. So in essence, they don't tell you how to drive to the bank, they just tell you you have to drive to the bank. Does that make sense?
Okay. Pat, Bill, what would you say has the effect of having the accreditation? What has been the impact for the department as a whole?
It verifies to you as a department that you're doing things the right way, in line with what the other agencies are doing around the country. And there's quite a few states in the country that have no processes whatsoever as far as their communications officers hiring, their training, and the folks here go through extensive hiring process, extensive training process, and quite frankly, we're pretty proud of them. We put them up against anybody anywhere. But this just lets you know that you're at that level, that the folks in Roanoke County are getting the best service available from 911.
And Pat, you've been part of this department for as long as I've been with the county, for at least 6 years. There's got to be a lot of pride for you to get to this point as well.
It certainly is. It legitimizes our operation, helps, gives people, our people something to be proud of and take pride in. It also is reassuring to our citizens when they see news articles, news stories. I know there was one recently where I think I had a young child choking, and the mother called in to the local 911 center, and the dispatcher could provide no assistance at all. Here we do. Here we provide the assistance they need, and it's much more reassuring to our citizens.
I think so, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to serve the citizens. All right, Pat Shoemake, Bill Hunter, thank you so much for sharing this information with us. We certainly appreciate it and offer congratulations to the department.
Thank you.
Thank you.
On May 25th, the Board of Supervisors will vote on a final budget for the upcoming fiscal year. The budget that will be voted on is currently available on the county website, but for those of you who haven't had a chance to review it, we thought we'd provide an overview. And joining us now is Brent Robertson, the county's Management and Budget Director. Brent, I know this has got to be a good feeling for you to get to this point after so much work has gone into preparing a proposed budget for the board to actually get to the point of voting on.
Yes, it is. It has been a long journey this year, one of the longest in my career here.
And when does work on a budget actually begin? I mean, are we talking weeks? Are we talking months?
Usually, it is a long-term process to work on a budget, but we've actually been working on this budget since last summer, because we've anticipated the difficulty we were going to have. So it was probably August or so when we began in earnest working on this next budget. Now,
I know a lot of the work itself is provided by the county departments and the staff working with administration, but I'm certain that the Board of Supervisors also provided some guidance as well. What did they say to you as you got into the budget process?
Well, the board provided some very clear direction. First and foremost, they did not want to issue tax increases for the citizens. That objective was obtained. They also wanted to not have any degradation or noticeable impact on service delivery to the citizens. Okay. That objective was met as well. They wanted to minimize any impact on employees through layoffs or compensation reductions, and we were able to meet that objective as well.
What do you want, aside from the things that you just mentioned, what else should the citizens know about the budget for this upcoming fiscal year?
Well, once again, one of the most important is the core services were protected, and the citizens should expect those to remain intact. In addition, departments have been impacted a little bit, so they may notice some of the little small around the edges type things that departments do. The departments have lost some flexibility, and as we mentioned before, no tax increase this year.
Well, I think one thing that the citizens may notice, especially those who use the 419 headquarters library, is that that library is not always going to be open any longer on Sundays, correct?
That is correct, and the justification the library director gave was that puts us equitably with the other libraries around the valley.
You know, when you're looking at the budget, you go online, you pull it up, one of the things that may be difficult to understand is that the budget for this year, for the upcoming fiscal year, is actually larger than the current budget, but in the end you still had to make all of these cuts. Why is that?
Well, fortunately, Roanoke County's diverse economic climate allowed us to project a slight amount of growth. It was only about 0.5% when historically we've been anywhere between 5 and 7 or 8% growth. So it is minimal, but that did produce an increase, slight increase budget this year. And what made things so difficult, even though we're looking at a increase in the overall budget, is we had a great deal of commitments and obligations from an expenditure standpoint that we had to meet, which totaled somewhere around $5 million.
Do you recall some of those to share with the viewers?
Well, one of the first and foremost, I think, is one of the top priorities of the Board of Supervisors was education. We did increase our transfer for operations for the school system about $3 million of that $5 million because of some pretty severe revenue reductions they received from the state. In addition, we were able to keep the capital program, the joint capital program we have with schools for upgrading of school facilities, as well as every third year some county projects. We were able to continue the funding of that as well. The Board of Supervisors did approve some additional positions, very badly needed positions in fire and rescue, as well as social services.
Okay. We were able to balance the budget for the upcoming fiscal year, but as we know in what's happened over the past year is that some of the information coming from the state has changed, some of the reimbursements. Is that a concern for next year, that you balance the budget now, but then you get in mid-year next year and anything can happen?
Right. I think we have two really big concerns right now. The first is the fact that while we're projecting a little bit of revenue growth for next year, I think the economy is still fairly volatile, and that it could slip backwards a little bit, and that's something we will monitor closely. But I think, as you mentioned, the state budget is still a great concern to us. They've used some fairly optimistic revenue growth figures in funding localities, as well as they still have quite a bit of expenditure commitments over the next several years that they have to meet, and I know that the localities could be at risk for having their revenues reduced even further if it comes to pass.
I guess that's what makes your job so difficult to do. Is a lot of what you do is forecasting.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. I know that the public hearing has already been held for the budget. But what is the next step?
We still have 2 steps remaining in the budget. On the 11th of May, there will be a first reading. The budget is approved by ordinance, so it does have the teeth of a local law.
Okay.
So the first reading of that will occur then, and the second reading, which makes it become final, will be the 25th of May.
Of May. Okay. All right. A lot of information that we've shared with the viewers. Where can they go if they want to read some of this material that we just talked about?
All of the information we provided with the Board of Supervisors throughout the entire budget process is on the county's website. They can go to the county's homepage, and there'll be a green button that says Budget Update on that, and that will take them to the Management and Budgets website, where they can find links to all of that information.
All right. Well, I know it's been a lot of work, and we certainly appreciate the updates that you've been providing for the viewers over the past several months. Thank you.
Thank you.
And stay with us. We'll be right back.
You promised me the world. Is this what you had in mind?
Help EarthShare and its members restore balance to the world. Visit earthshare.org and see what you can do. EarthShare, one environment, one simple way to care for it.
Welcome back. I'm Dan O'Donnell, Assistant County Administrator. I'm here with Pete Hayslip, who's our Director of Parks, Recreation, and Tourism, and we are here at the Green Ridge Recreation Center. at Splash Valley Water Park. So Pete, we've been open at Green Ridge for a few months now. How is it going?
Well, we think it's been going fabulous. We have obviously exceeded our expectations here from a standpoint of membership and program participation, but you know, that's not the most important thing. You know, I'm here a lot and I talk to our customers and our participants, and you know, hearing a lot of good positive things. We got great staff, great customer service, and people seem to be really, really excited about the opportunities that they get here at Green Ridge. Right.
I do hear a lot of positive comments from the public. And what is Splash Valley? Here we are at Splash Valley. Could you tell us what this is?
Well, you know, Splash Valley, you know, it's kind of part 2 of the Green Ridge Recreation Center. It's a separate part, but it is what we would call a mini water park, and it's family oriented. Yeah, you'll see by some of the facilities we have here, we offer something from the toddlers all the way up to the oldest adult. You know, we have a very interactive spray ground, a lot of moving water, fountains, buckets dumping, and little slides, and then over to what we call our huge, I guess, man size or adult size here. An enclosed tube, which is 3.5 stories tall. We have a what's called a bowl slide, which is really, really one of the more exciting slides out here on the market nowadays, and we're told that that's going to be a very, very popular attraction. We have a nice lazy river in here, a nice current river, some water cannons, a little bit of shade, and really just a real aquatic facility that everybody can come and interact, but also sit back and relax and get some sun.
Right. And when will this facility be open to the public?
We'll be opening up, the grand opening will be Friday, May 28th at 4 o'clock, and so we're certainly excited about that. And that will kick off pretty much our open season for the summer. We'll have limited hours during the weekdays, 4 to 7 until June 10th when everybody gets out of school, and then from June 10th, Monday, well, really 7 days a week, it'll be from 11 to 7 p.m. Now, the important thing is from every day from 11 a.m. to noon is Roanoke County residents and our Super Splash members only. And so after that, you know, starting at 12 is when non-residents will be allowed admission.
So you don't need to be a member of Green Ridge Recreation Center to use Splash Valley. So it's open to the public.
Right, and that's, I think, some of the misinformation that's been out there is that you have to be a member to use Splash Valley. You know you don't.
But you don't have to be a member.
No.
Okay.
It's open for daily admission.
Daily admission. Can you tell us what the rates are for daily admission?
Yeah, for an adult non-resident, it'll be $9 a day. For a county resident, $7. For youth, it'll be $8 for a non-resident, $6 for a county youth. And then for a senior rate, it'll be $7 for non-county and $5 for Roanoke County.
Okay, and you briefly went through the hours, but could you tell us when you're going to be open again?
Yes, we'll start Friday, May 28th, and that'll be 4 to 7. And then the weekends will be 11 to 7. And then weekdays after June 10th, it'll be 11 to 7 all the way through the summer.
Would this facility be open for private rentals if somebody actually wanted to rent it?
We are right now developing that rental program. We are anticipating, you know, some fairly large crowds, so we want to make sure that we have room to accommodate those types of groups. But yes, if people are interested in group rentals, by all means, give us a call.
Okay, well, it's a great facility. We're getting ready to open it, and it really does look beautiful. So congratulations on all the work you and your staff have done.
Thank you.
Getting this together. And how do people find out more about the Splash Valley or the Green Ridge Recreation Center?
Well, I think that the best way and most complete source of information will be our website, RoanokeCountyParks.com, and just click on that old Splash Valley or Green Ridge Rec Center, and pretty much everything you need to know will be there.
Oh, great. Thanks for being with us today, Pete. Look forward to jumping into the water myself.
Come on.
That's all for this month's edition of Roanoke County Today. For more information on Roanoke County events and programs, visit our website at RoanokeCountyVA.gov. Hope to see you again next month.